So when I first started doing this series, I thought, do I walk through the starter kit or do I walk you guys through like the hundreds of oils that I received? Even thinking about that makes me just like super overwhelming. Here's the thing with essential oils. What I have learned over the last 9 years is we act like it's just like going and buying a perfume or a candle or a really nice lotion that we like. Meaning, oh, well, it's good. It's like we look at the scent and we like, oh, I like that, or no, I don't like that. And so we do everyone a disservice. I have also learned that, and I was one of those people, and I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I apologize. If somebody doesn't like an oil, I was like, well, that means I need it. And we get a little bit snarky about it, right? And that was presented to me that way. And so, you know, you can't turn back time. There's no time heist here, so I can't undo what I've said and what other people have said to me. What I can do is go back and go, wait, let's just pause. And essential oils need to be looked at as medicine. And I wish that someone had said that to me. This is medicine. I was given this book. I don't know if any of you have a book like this, but I want you to imagine having a child with cancer, 4 little ones that you're homeschooling and working a full-time business from your home and going, yes, read this. Learn how to heal your son from cancer. I'm like, the hell? Okay. So I'll show you guys what I did. Like so I'd been reading articles and I came across all these articles about frankincense. So okay, these are all PubMed articles, WebMD, not WebMD, excuse me, yeah, PubMed. And so I look at my book there's all these like personal usage references, and there's one for cancer, lo and behold, okay, skin cancer, that was the story we had. Thyme, sandalwood, grapefruit, hyssop, and tarragon. And I'm reading this, I'm like, oh, this is bullshit, like for real. Who wrote this book? This is me going back going, what? And all I could picture is, I knew what the doctors had told me at the hospital, and it's interferon, and it's this chemo, and it's this treatment, and I'm looking at like, if sandalwood and thyme and grapefruit and hyssop and tarragon really helped cancer, why didn't the doctors tell me about that? You have to understand, I was still in the allopathic mindset. Like I didn't know. I didn't know what I didn't know, right? I didn't ever even take Advil. So when I needed something and a doctor telling me this is what you need, but they didn't say oils, I'm like, okay. So I thought today, let's start with frankincense, you guys, because that's, you know, you're going to read, if you were to look up an article like I did and you're wondering, you're going to come across this, yeah? I'm trying to keep this as short as possible. So then I looked up frankincense, and so here's the data, right? If you can see all that data. Remember, I'm reading this at like 11 o'clock at night after having homeschooled, after cutting people's hair, after not having a freak out over my son, right? So it's historical, the oil of Lebanon. It came from, the name frankincense is derived from a medieval French word for real incense. It says it was used to treat every conceivable ill known to man. Frankincense was valued more than gold during ancient times, and only those with great wealth and abundance possessed it. It is mentioned as one of the oldest known in medical records, the papyrus dating back from the 16th century BC to ancient Egyptians listing it in like 875 prescriptions. Okay, now you have my attention, because I'm kind of a history nerd, right? And I'm thinking, okay, so here's the deal. This book, I didn't even look to see who wrote it. Let's look together now, because I probably should have looked. Life Science Publisher. You know, these are the things that with my personality, I'm like, just tell me what to do. Tell me all the things. I can't even figure out who wrote this. Oh, well, Gary Young, like, obviously they got stuff from him, but he wasn't the one, I don't think, that wrote it. Maybe, if you guys know, correct me. I'm sure there are some of you who would love to correct me. But those of you who are like me, like, yeah, let's learn together. The cool thing here is way, way tucked in the back, and I found this later, years later, biblical references, okay? Now I'm paying attention because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 references to just frankincense in the back of here in scripture. Then I'm like, okay, now you've told me about Egyptian papyruses, now you've told me this, and then the other that, of course, I've spaced out as we're talking. So I go back. Then I look at medical properties, right? And there's all these constituents. That, by the way, I was told when you teach an essential oil class, you should not speak to this because people will get bored and glaze over, which I do believe is true, except then I think this. If you actually want someone to heal and get better and have a really profound experience with your oils, wouldn't you want to know this? Wouldn't it be better to take the time and learn and sort of sit down and walk someone through rather than just getting them started on a starter kit? I mean, that's just sort of what I think now. Going back, if I could sit back in time, I would rather have done that. That's me. So here we are, medical properties, anti-tumoral, immunostimulant, so it's, stimulates the immune system, antidepressant, muscle relaxing. Again, I remember reading this and going, really this? I don't get it. I didn't understand. But when I smelled it, I'm like, okay, it's all right. It smells like church, doesn't it? Uses, so that was the medical properties, but then people use it for depression, cancer, respiratory infections, inflammation, and immune stimulating. Okay, that's pretty cool. What people? Well, I had to go back here, right? In ancient times. Increases spiritual awareness, promotes meditation, improves attitude, and uplifts spirits. Again, that sounds so odd to someone like me way back then because I prayed. I have great faith. I didn't use an oil to do those things. I had never been to a Catholic church until after, which is funny. So I didn't know that that's what they use, the priest, when they do the bell. I don't even know what it's called. And then, of course, in here it talks about the biblical references. Well, then there's selected research. So here we go. Some studies that I had actually come across in my Google research. So the cool thing is as I'm reading frankincense for my son, and then I flipped back to the cancer portion and what it was telling you, the protocol, yada, yada, not just oils, but nutritionally, which this is what I was looking for. I had been Googling and wondering, nutrition, I need nutrition. I knew intuitively, right, that was something my son needed. And I'm sure you guys have gone through the same thing, where if you just sit quietly for a minute and you're not freaking out, your mind, your body, and your God, should you believe in the Lord, will tell you what you need. So I go back and I'm thinking, yep, inflammation, that's huge. So we needed anti-inflammatory products, foods, environment to help beat the cancer. Apparently frankincense, the gum resin, I love this oil now, was one of them. And so that was that. And when I would ask, well, what do I do with these oils? I think I shared with you on the last segment was, would just put it on, no, I don't think I shared this, so this is new. They would say, put it on his neck, on the surgery site. I need you to understand, my son he has a huge scar. It like goes from here all the way down his shoulder and then down. And he had a sponge, because it's the color of my jacket, and it was like this, right? Sewn to his little neck. I mean, he's 9. I want you to picture how tiny, so painfully thin. It was stitched to his neck, and they said, just put frankincense on that. And I don't know if you're like me, and maybe in 2019 it's different. I don't know. It hurts my stomach still when I say the words out loud, because I'm thinking, you want me to put this, something I know nothing about, something that you gave me a book written by I don't know who, and you're telling me that that's what I should do? I mean, you guys, doesn't that sound insane? Looking back, now I'm like, yeah, I would totally do that. But I still can feel that scared mom that was like, what if something goes horribly awry? I didn't know. Now I understand that frankincense is so beautiful for the skin, and it has those properties that help the body heal. But I didn't know that then. And so, again, my purpose of this series is to be able to sit with you like we're having coffee. Actually, we're drinking lemon water right now, in case you're wondering. And I'd love to just sit and chat with you and say, this is what the research says. But I also want to help you understand there's no shame if you're like, that sounds weird to me. I think there's been a lot of shaming going on in our culture if you don't do natural medicine, if you still choose to vaccinate your children, if you choose conventional means, modern means, because it's what you've chosen. And let's just create a little safe space, just me and you right here. And, we can seek to understand maybe a different way. And if we still feel that's not for us, then you know what? That's okay. Everybody's different. And so back then, I didn't know what I didn't know, and I know now. I'm so super grateful because I get to walk you guys through it. So if you have frankincense with you and you're still wondering, what do I do with this? I'll leave you with this. Open it up, take a drop, and just rub it together in your hands clockwise 3 times. That activates the molecules. Did you know that? You need to activate the molecules. Again, I didn't know. And then you smell it in and just close your eyes. Let's do that. And just breathe in those oils. Just let your body receive them or reject. Just sort of sit with that for a bit. And then we'll move on to another one. Thanks, everyone.